Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sen, your executive producer here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms for their donations throughout the years. Those being Trevian Alexander, Samantha Bates, Elle, and Cat Waterflame, without whom we would do nearly as much of the things we do now. So thank you all very much for your support. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Specifically enjoy this finished overlay that I'm still tweaking. We're live, by the way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory Under the Steel Sky. I am William, and I am your game master for this campaign. Joining me today, we have Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I am playing Aristarchus Dactyl. It's a bit of a Rumgoaties bastards attacking the Medicaid, isn't it? He's part of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Loroel Fire, the Eldari Corsair.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Remy Mira, who is just kind of a shitty guy, you know? And I'd like to take this opportunity to point out that somehow Joy Division is still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I just realized that because the nominees were announced, and they're on the nominees list. And fuck you, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because they should have been in there fucking decades ago.
I mean...
and Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Blair Hart, a human ganger scum.
And Sen.
I'm Sen, and I'm playing Saras Artinos, the Inquisitorial Acolyte.
We will not be joined by Mara tonight. And so the role of Tino, we played by Sir, not appearing in this film. But
oh, I forgot to say, Joy Division is my Velvet Underground cover band.
Oh, yeah. And also,
yeah, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
right.
Jeremy make a face.
Eat the rich, and the stream might be powered by Sirenscape in the future, but at the moment, I still need to figure out what I want to do with the music for this game, if anything at all.
I can just start playing background music for you if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not?
One last second little bitch about this. You know who else isn't in the Rock and Hall of Fame according to the nominee list? Iron fucking Maiden.
Jesus Christ.
I mean...
And they've been eligible since 2005.
Somebody's been sleeping on Iron Maiden over in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Somebody who's making the nominees are fucking drunk.
Well, the problem is every time they go to get the nominees, Iron Maiden just sends an Iron Maiden to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're really confused and don't want to put a torture implement on stage.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is nominated by a very small group of people who hate certain genres of music, though metal isn't one of them. So I don't know what the problem with Iron Maiden is. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. One of my rants for the day.
But when last we left off,
I don't want to limit. I don't want to limit. I don't want to cap myself.
But when last we left our agents, which is the game term for player characters in Wrath and Glory, because they were like, well, we need a catch-all term for characters across all of this. Agents, that'll do.
Because we're certainly not heroes.
I mean, I've always been kind of partial to, player characters, but I'm a clinical sort.
Mistakes. Yeah.
When last we left our agents, they had been present when the Medicaid Primaris was firebombed. After everyone had vaguely been introduced
we are
to some of each other.
Is anybody else dropping frames from Shawnee, or is that just me?
Shawnee's dropping lots of frames.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's going to be great.
It's impressive that you're dropping these many frames and Holly isn't.
I was about to ask if I was.
No, you're
No.
not. It's
Nope.
only Shawnee,
Oh.
which means it's probably
Which means
something
that
to do
my
with the
Wi-Fi
computer.
extender is probably in need of a repositioning.
Or that.
Smack it with a hockey stick. Oh, no, wait. That's only how they fix things in Canada.
Or
Oh.
40k, although not with a hockey stick.
While we wait for that, I'm just going to make the sounds that we're all hearing while we wait.
But yeah, after having fought through a after having shoved their way through a small tunnel to escape the immediate battle, several of the group arrived in the same location, some by accident, including the orc. As all of you found yourself in one of the back alleys on the other side of the main street from the Medicaid Primaris, after which a grenade went off, a wall came tumbling down, and from a couple of different directions, I said 5 last session, but it's actually about 6 of these violent thugs have arrived on scene, and seeing a group of people in a spot that is not being borne down on, decide to bear down on you as we begin to move in with our first combat. Of note, Tina, seeing another group of thugs, just like a short distance away, but not decidedly unmenaced, immediately charges off to menace them.
So for anyone in the game,
As those of you who have not seen Tina before get the briefest hint of an orc running by.
All right.
Why is
Bye.
there an orc up here?
Long story. Can't talk.
We'll move to our battlefield.
For those of you that aren't that don't have the Sirenscape link, I just put it in the RuneScape group chat. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you can also get this lovely battle music. And the sounds of explosions. That one was loud.
Damn it, I'm missing out.
But now we will begin with our very first combat.
Hey. Well, look at this.
Oh, where does our glory and ruin go back to, by the way?
I'm leaving it where it was from last session because we didn't really have a full session last time.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
the way that combat initiative works in Wrath and Glory is it's a back and forth system. Starting unless you have been ambushed, in which case the enemies go first, the allies will go first, picking one of the players to go and take their turn. After which an enemy will go, and then an ally will go, and then an enemy will go until everyone has taken their turn. So, which among the players would like to take their turn first?
I mean, would like to or makes tactical sense to?
When does make tactical sense factor into any of my decision making in combat? Say I would like to go first, but I'm just going to be running behind everyone else.
I vote that our
And of course, I will also note that if you want to, when one of your turns ends and an enemy would go, you can spend a glory to seize the initiative and take another turn before the enemy goes. You can only do that once before the enemy gets to go, though. You can't just stack all of your turns one after another. The enemy does get to go after the second person.
Okay.
I do see a problem with my plan. I hadn't looked at the map before this moment, all right?
Right? I vote that, like, either Blair or Laurel goes.
Yeah, I was going to say Laurel. Well, either Laurel should go, or if we want somebody that's a little bit more familiar with the system to go, I could go first. Either one.
I mean, I was going to walk whoever went first through their first turn anyway.
I was going to say, I vote Laurel goes then, so that we can have a walkthrough so that the rest of us also get to hear what needs to happen.
I will be the Guinea Eldari.
Sorry, Remy.
No,
All
legit.
right.
My plan no longer works because I see that there are people on either side, and I don't think I can fit between the four of y'all in that little, like, 7 inches of space.
Yeah.
All right, so let's give a breakdown here.
Your internet
So
is still
in an agent's
chugging, by the way,
turn,
Shawnee.
well, I don't know what the fuck I can do about it. It's just gonna have to deal. So in an agent's turn, you can do a number of things. Your total list of action economy, you have your movement or a movement option that you can do instead of regular movement. You can take an action, oftentimes called a combat action, a simple action, a reflexive action, which can be taken at any point in the round when the conditions are met, like a reaction in D&D, and any number of free actions. Talking is a free action, etc., etc. Your standard movement, you can move a number of spaces equal to your speed, and there are a variety of different actions that you can take. Generally speaking, there are 3 primary ways to attack your enemy in outside of psychic abilities. There are melee attacks, ranged attacks, and interaction attacks, where you can use your skills and non-combat abilities to try and impede or otherwise trip up your enemies. And then, of course, there are psychic powers that do exactly what psychic powers say they do. But if you would like, there is also a combat quick reference handy in the handouts for the combat subfolder. But what would you like to do on your turn, Laurel?
Laurel is going to go upward north directionally, I suppose. 4 spaces, putting her smack dab in the line of sight for these 3. And Laurel is going to draw her. I know it's a las weapon. I don't remember the name.
The Las Blaster.
Yes, her las blaster. And she's gonna fire at. We'll go straight for the middle.
All right. What is the range of your pistol?
The range of my pistol. Did not write that down correctly. Hold on.
Yep. As we all check our weapons ratings and be like, wait, why are all these zeros here?
12, 24, 36.
Right, so your last blaster's short range is 12. All right. So, the enemy is in short range. I feel like most everything on this battlefield in particular will be in short range. Which means that in short range, you get a +1 bonus die to your ranged attack tests because they are close enough that it's hard to miss. When you fire your gun, you can just choose to shoot them normally, or you can choose any possible extra range attack options. Like you might want to use some of your salvo options, like getting extra dice from your salvo rating, or you might want to aim, but you can't aim right after you've moved. Or you may wish to take a called shot to any particular point. What are you thinking? Just a regular attack?
I think I want to use salvo action to get some extra dice.
All right. So, after you use a salvo option, for instance, salvoing for extra dice, you can add your Las Blaster salvo rating as bonus dice to your attack roll.
Okay.
However, after you do that, your weapon will need to be reloaded, which you can do as I believe it's your minor action. I believe it's your simple action. Yes, you can reload a gun as a simple action.
Okay. And can I do a simple action on my turn as well, or is that
Yes.
going to wait till next turn? Okay. So where am I actually putting these bonuses on the breakdown? On the
So
sheet?
there is a section on the attack on the weapons profile that says ABD. That's attack bonus dice.
Okay. And we said 2 there, and then I get 1 for my range.
Well, yeah. So there's you get +1 bonus dice for your range attack, and your last blaster salvo rating is 4. So you actually add 4 to your from using the salvo option.
Okay.
God damn.
So
I feel bad for this cultist, probably.
So yeah, not only is that a crit, because you've rolled a 6 on the wrath die, the cultist defense I don't think is very high. Let me just double check here. Threats. The cultist defense is 2, so you only need 2 successes. Would you like to shift either of those 6s for extra effect, particularly extra damage?
yeah, we'll shift one of them for extra damage.
You can shift both of them if you want.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
we'll go with both.
shout out real quick to Shub Shikomi, who's in chat, just to watch Jeremy die.
I know who that is.
You can shift both of them to damage, or if you want, you can also shift one of them for an extra glory. Oh, speaking of, you gain a glory for critting.
I would like to help my allies, so I'll shift 1 for damage and 1 for a glory.
Right, so the glory tracker will go up twice. You now have 5 glory in the pool.
And I will use my simple action to reload.
So first off, before we get to damage, roll me a d66. Which is going to be
2d6, right?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roll 2d6 basically.
Also, now we have a roll 20 screen. Although
All right, so your
I
crit
think the
table
words are a little
is
small.
16. In the combat handouts, I have the critical hit table. 16 is a headshot. A well-aimed shot tears ragged chunks of bone and brain from the opponent's skull. The foe reels from such a violent strike, unable to focus. The target suffers an additional +1 d3 wounds and is staggered. And you can spend glory to get extra wounds for every glory you spend if you want to do even more damage. But before we get to that, roll your weapon's extra damage dice. You shifted 1, so you have 2 extra damage dice to roll.
So that goes into the damage mod.
No, it goes into. Let me pull up your character sheet real quick.
Damage bonus dice, probably, right?
Yeah,
DVD?
damage, DBD.
Okay.
And
that
then hit
goes
the
up
red
to
button
2.
roll damage.
Okay.
The bonus would have been 1 rather than 2 because it already has 1 in there, but that's fine. It did what it needed to. So that's 3 damage on top of the base damage of your weapon. So that's 10 damage total. The cultist's resilience is 4, so you deal 6 wounds past their resilience. They only have 5 wounds total. They are dead before even the critical effect is applied.
Nice.
So
Hell yeah.
as Lorwell just sort of sees the oncoming battle and just shifts to the side with elegance and just raises the last blaster and pulls the trigger, the cultist that was onrushing towards your group's position, their head just craters and disappears as they slump to the ground. And use a minor action to reload the gun.
As she's reloading, you've made a terrible mistake. This is going to be fun.
And now, as this cultist is very dead, it is now the enemy's turn, unless the group would like to spend a glory to take another turn before they can go.
Question. We've got 5 glory. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we should let another person go and potentially take down these numbers even further.
I don't know. I kind of want to see the bad guys fight.
I mean, we'll still get to
dead
see that.
serious,
I mean,
but also fair.
It's still 1-to-1, so like.
Okay, we can save it for later.
We
Legit,
just-
no, that's
so-
absolutely
so
fair.
What are all the uses for glory other than seizing the initiative?
the things you can do with glory. You can spend a glory to increase a dice pool if you are not confident in the number of dice you're rolling. 1 glory per die. You can spend a glory to increase the damage of a successful attack. Each glory spent adds 1 to the base damage value. You can spend as much glory as you want to increase damage. You can spend glory to improve the effect of a critical hit. Like on that one, you could spend critical hits to just inflict more wounds. Or you can spend a point of glory to seize the initiative during combat.
So we have 5
Glory
glory.
just makes you do better in most things.
We have 5 glory, but we can also use it for, increasing our attacks or things like that, rather than seizing the initiative. Although seizing the initiative is still good.
Legit.
If we do seize the initiative, I would recommend Blair do it.
I was going to say the same thing.
So,
I
seizing
can
the
do that.
initiative or no?
I vote seize the initiative.
I'm cool either way.
I abstain.
I mean, I think the person that seizes is the person that spends it. So ultimately, it's your decision, Holly, if you'd like to.
I mean, yeah, if you don't want to go now, you can choose not to seize the
How much
initiative.
glory is it I'm spending?
Just 1.
Just 1? I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Hell yeah.
So we reduce the glory count down to 4, and Blair, take your turn.
Okay. She's first going to push past Remy and kind of nudge him out of the way and say, "Move unless you want to die." And then she's going to use her auto gun on this one.
All right. You gonna make that a regular attack, or do you also want to unload everything with a salvo option?
Let's unload everything.
Hell
so you-
yeah.
As a reminder, you generally will carry 3 reloads at a time
Mhm.
between long rests where you can restock, unless you have backpacks, other stuff that gives you extra reloads. So salvo. I cannot believe that salvo options is not one of the combat handouts that I gave people. That's weird. I don't believe I forgot that. Oh well.
It happens. You're good.
What's our current glory again?
But second,
What's our current glory?
4.
Sorry, just-
I had been accidentally forgetting that the eagle icon is just a success rather than the eagle with a halo, which is a 6, and so I have been giving you way too much glory from the previous session.
Gotcha.
That's okay.
Salvo options are page 185.
And what's our
So yeah,
current...
the things you can do with the salvo. You can full auto, which empties the gun at a single target, gains a number of bonus dice to the attack equal to the weapon's salvo rating. Or you can spray shot. You can make a spray shot as part of a multi-attack, reducing the DN test of the weapons by the weapon's salvo value. What that means is, if you want to try and attack multiple targets with the same attack, you can. It just increases the difficulty of the attack by 2 for every target beyond the first.
What's our ruin, by the way?
It is 7.
Ooh.
Spray shot will reduce that difficulty penalty by your weapon salvo rating if you wanted to fire at several people. Or you can fire all at one person with a full auto.
I want to try to fire at several.
Okay. So you want to hit all 3 of them?
Yep, if I can.
Alright. That would be a multi-attack. That will normally increase your damage by, I believe, by your difficulty by 4, but the salvo rating of an auto gun is,
3?
I believe, 3?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah. So that will reduce it to a mere +1 difficulty. Let me make sure I have my combat reference on exactly how multi-attack actually works. Plus 2 DN to attack all attacks for each attack beyond the first. So yeah, you're going to roll me 3 attacks, 1 for each target. Their defense is going to go up by 1. So the first attack will miss. The second attack will miss. The third attack will miss.
Ah,
If their defense hadn't been increased, because it would have gone from 2 to 3, that first one would have hit. So this is the danger of multi-attacks. It makes it
Right.
harder to hit.
Mhm. No, that
Although,
makes
hang
sense.
on a minute. Let me double check something here real quick. I want to make sure that your auto gun is actually set up properly. Skills, ballistic skill 2, agility. Okay, you know that is the correct amount of dice. Okay.
Does that include the +1 that they're in short range for?
Oh, that's correct. They are in short range, so you should have had an extra die. Go ahead and roll those 3 attacks again with an extra bonus die.
How do I add an extra bonus?
So in the attack roll, there's A, B, D right there before the blue button.
I see.
Add 1 to the A, B, D value, and then hit the blue button again.
And do all 3 attacks?
Yeah, do all 3 attacks over again. Oh, click off before. There you go. Yeah. That's much better. Okay.
544.
In fact, 2 of those
That
are crits.
ruins what I was gonna do.
Hell yeah, Blair.
So we're going to go left to right. First off, we get 2 more glory because you've crit twice.
Hot damn.
Then, if you see on your character sheet near the top right of the rolls tab, there's that button that looks like 2 dice side by side.
Yes.
Click that twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going left to right are crits. We have 44 and 63.
60.
44 is a visceral blow. The target suffers an extra mortal wound. Excellent. And then 63 is unspeakable carnage. Target suffers 1d3 plus 3 mortal wounds.
Holy shit.
So first off, roll your damage. Do you want to shift? Yeah, okay. That'll do, actually.
Am I rolling it 3 times?
No, just once.
Okay.
Do you want to shift any of those dice for extra damage on any of those targets?
How would I do that?
You can shift 1 die from the first target. You can't shift from the second target, and you actually can't shift from the third target either. So if you want to shift 1 die to potentially hit an extra damage on the first target, you can.
I'll go ahead and do that.
So roll me an extra d6. Okay, nothing. But the weapon's base damage is 7. Let's see, we have Scum and 2 different cultists. Scum's resilience is 4. They would take 3 wounds. Cultist resilience is also 4. So all 3 of them will take 3 wounds.
Nope.
And then we apply those critical effects. So the first one was 44, visceral blow. They take an extra mortal wound. And every character engaged with the target must make an agility test, DN3, or fall prone. So that one cultist needs to make an agility test or fall over in the spray of gore. I don't think they can make that, but they can try. Nope. You not only brutalize these 3 people, but one of them falls over.
Hey.
They might also fall over because they might be dead in a second, but... the Scum takes an extra mortal wound, which will bring them down to 1. 66. Roll me a d3.
How do I roll? Just slash roll d3?
Yeah, slash roll 1d3.
Nice.
Yeah, they fell prone not just because they got knocked over, but also because they're dead, because they just took 6 more mortal wounds. So that first crit, the one that just caused the spray of arterial blood, remember what I said about you can spend glory to improve your crits.
Mhm.
For every glory you spend, the target suffers an additional mortal wound, and you can choose either to knock them prone or they also suffer 2 shock. You want to spend a glory to finish them off.
Is everybody okay with me doing that?
You printed 2 more glory just by making this attack, so you'd only be spending half of the glory that you already contributed just to kill that other guy.
Yeah.
And we break even.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Net glory change 0. So go.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah, roll with it.
All right, then I'll go ahead and do it.
All right.
It means I don't have to.
2 of them are dead.
On the overlay.
Of the people that used attack. Now it's the enemy's time to go. You're about to see why this system is very quick and very deadly.
Now we could theoretically seize the initiative again, could we? Or
No, you can only do that
seize
once
the
in a
initiative
round.
once. Before
Let's
the enemy
not.
goes.
I would like to learn this combat system, and I don't understand it at all yet.
Yep.
we can't anyways. So.
All right, now it is the enemy's turn. So, that was painful. However, a cultist was just slain by a critical hit, so I gain a ruin because of the cultist devotion trait.
Okay. Sure, that's a thing. Why
Sorry.
not? So it's less of a what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, and what doesn't kill all of us all at the same time makes us stronger.
Basically.
Okay.
So the cultist is going to step up and is going to try and shoot Blair. I feel like that's a reasonable response.
Just killed his 2 buddies. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, they're just gonna fire their auto gun at Blair. Probably not hitting anything with that, though.
Did they get a ruin on
yeah.
there?
Yeah, they got a.
I don't know if.
They got a.
That's a complication, yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
As
I don't know if that applies to enemies or not, but
as the three cultists that have just been sprayed down by Blair's auto gun, the one remaining standing tries to limp forward and try and unload their auto gun at Blair. There's a and their gun jams. Fuck! They start swearing under their breath as they try and fix the jam. I am going to spend one of my ruin to have the enemy seize the initiative.
okay.
So excellent. So the scum is going to go next. The one remaining scum, who is going to use their battle cry ability, which are battle cries are things that enemies can use that only happen on the first round of combat, on their first turn. The scum's battle cry is without honor. On the first round of combat, this threat may substitute their stealth skill for their weapon skill or ballistic skill tests.
Ooh.
So they get a cheap shot in on the first round of combat.
I want a battle cry.
So the scum is going to try and they're going to try and maneuver up on Laurel and try and hit Laurel with their auto pistol, instead using their stealth skill instead of their ballistic skill. They get a bonus die because they are within short range.
Yeah, a bloody tricks.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yikes.
They definitely hit.
Oh, dear.
However,
You guys are gonna love my next character.
It's cool. We have a medic.
That is my line.
I got to say,
what is your
That is
defense?
copyright
L'Oreal?
infringement.
2.
Okay, so they only need 2 of those to hit you. So here's the thing. This game is very static about its damage numbers. They can shift those three sixes for extra damage dice, but that doesn't guarantee more damage.
Right.
The base damage of the auto pistol is 7.
Listen, we've played Werewolf the Apocalypse. We know how this can go.
Yeah.
So they're adding 4 damage to the base of the auto pistol, so for 11 total damage. What is your resilience?
6.
So you drop 6 of that. There is 5 left coming at you.
How many
Now-
wounds do you have?
I say, how many wounds do you have first?
I'm dead.
So,
4.
no, you're not. Here's the thing. Whenever you would take wounds, you can try to soak some of them.
Okay.
That is based on your determination value. What is your determination value?
2.
So you can. There should be a button in the combat pool that says roll determination.
Or it just says it just says determination. It's in the far right.
Okay. I see it.
So, you take 1 shock for rolling determination, and then you convert 2 of that damage from wounds into shock. So you take a total of 3 shock, and drop the damage you would take by 2.
Okay.
And it was 6,
So now it's 4.
Now it's 4,
which is your wounds.
which is my wounds.
So you are down. You're not dead. You are downed,
Okay.
but if you had made 1 more, you would still be standing.
And to be clear, you reduce that by 2 because you got an exalted icon, which is a 6 on the die.
Okay.
If it was just an icon, it would reduce it by 1.
Okay, now that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
Right,
confused
okay.
there for a second.
I'm
Yeah,
it's still not clicking
Yeah.
with me.
So yeah, the so basically, exalted icons are crit successes. They're worth 2 points on any roll that they're worth. Basically.
Okay.
The
Okay.
ones with the halo are worth 2.
Okay.
So you took 4 wounds, which knocks you down to 0, and you also took 3 shocks, so your blue bar should be down to 2, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
when you are reduced to 0 wounds, actually, no, you're fine. When you are up to your max, you are fine. When you go over your max, you start dying.
Oh, okay.
So as long as you are not in the negative, you're okay for right now.
I'm okay for this turn. Okay. Cool.
But if you go over your maximum, you'll start dying, which this is 40k. People
Right.
fight to the death a lot. You can still do things while you're dying. You're a lot more limited in your action economy. However, this is a thing that applies to everyone, including the enemy. If you suffered any number of wounds, you are wounded, which increases the DN of basically everything you do by 1. This game is very fast and very lethal.
Okay.
Allies, who would like to go next?
I vote Aristarchus.
Would the medic like to go?
Can the medic run up and try and patch up this Xeno?
You are in possession of a medikit.
Okay. We're gonna go up here. Right, that doesn't look half good.
The DN is increased by 1 because you're working on an alien physiology.
Okay.
I believe it's increased by 1. It might be 2. Let me double check.
Medicae tests.
I have a battle sister planned after this.
Sister of mercy.
Yes.
Sometimes a swift death is merciful, right?
Sister neck snap, if you will.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your Medicae test.
Okay.
While I double check the Xeno's healing.
Would you like to spend
I'm going to say it's 1 for now until I read otherwise. You made it. You made exactly what you needed.
Can I spend now? Is there a spend a glory to re-roll all of your failures? Right.
You can spend one of your wrath to do that.
Oh, okay.
So if you want, you can spend one of your wrath and hit the re-roll button.
I'm gonna do that and add.
You add 2 more.
2 more.
You also got an
It only rolls the ones that you missed, and you got 2 more successes. So your total is now 6.
So it basically translates its down. Okay. And I got a glory on my initial roll, correct?
You did.
Yep.
Okay.
So you gain a glory. You can also shift that now that you've got more than what you need for extra.
Oh,
health.
and yeah, I'm going to shift everything possible to get extra wounds on this.
You've only got the 1 exalted icon, so you shift once
Okay.
for every exalted icon on a Medicae test to restore a wound restores 1 additional wound.
Okay.
So you restore 2 wounds to Lorwell.
Okay. So yeah, this there's like a clattering sound from his mechadendrite, and a number of things on the entire interior seem to mix and fizz and coagulate. And then this kind of large gauge needle just jams itself into a part somewhere in your waist, probably area. And you just feel a pump of chemicals. Right, that should get you fixed up a bit then, love. And then he sort of leans over and kind of just lays a regular hand on your shoulder. Also, Miss Blair has you beat 2-1 at this point, so, if you're the type that keeps score.
All right.
And is that everything I can do on my turn? Or
That's
do I have any movement?
That's your movement
left?
and your major action and your combat action. Would you like to do anything with a minor action?
What could he do with a minor action? Let me look here.
So, action economy.
Minor actions are called simple actions, right?
Yeah, simple actions.
I wish it broke that down.
Simple actions, I believe, are listed in general on page 179.
Okay, let me look.
So yeah, simple actions include
Reload,
reloading a weapon, drawing a raiding weapon.
Ooh,
taking
he
a
will
lock
look
door,
around
looking
with
right.
his awareness skill.
All right, roll me an awareness test.
Okay.
DN2. Are you looking
Okay.
for anything in particular?
He is looking to see if there is anything tech that could be employed to give us an advantage in this battle theater that we find ourselves in.
All right. So that's a success,
But
but
also
it comes
a
with a
rude.
complication.
Okay.
Do you want to determine what your complication is going to be, or do you want me to?
Is there a handout for that? Or do I just get to pick something?
It is very much it's a narrative. I can let me see complications. Wrath die crits and complications. When the Wrath die lands on a 1, you rolled a complication. This is a narrative prompt to add something to the scene, not necessarily something negative, but something unexpected and dramatic. You can think of a complication as a modifier to a test result. It's sort of the ruin and glory from Fantasy Flight, Star Wars stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it's,
despair or whatever. Yeah.
Despair or glory. Do you want to give me a suggestion for what might go wrong or odd here, or do you want me to figure it out?
I feel like there's enough similarity between the despair and the ruin here that I can offer the standard theology, as it were, from Fantasy Flight. If you use a despair for anything but an explosion, you're doing it wrong.
Your eye explodes because you're looking too hard.
So I would like to say,
Aneurysm.
That there is a since I was looking for something tech, effectively something mechanical that could give us an advantage. There's something that, depending on who gets there first and does it best, could go either way.
All right.
Potentially explosive.
So I will say that you look over, and I'm just going to draw it here on the map so that it's easy to spot in bright red. There's a power coupling right here.
Okay.
Where his red dot is. That power coupling is sparking and looks to be overloaded, possibly because some of the nearby machinery has been very taxed by the explosions that have already been going on. If that takes a stray shot or is just thrown at someone and picked off the wall, it might detonate like a grenade.
Okay.
It's a free action to tell that to people.
Yeah, but then they know too, and they go
right.
next.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
I will say, because the enemy have gone, if you want to burn through some more of your glory, you can seize the initiative again.
Can I take another turn?
You can't take another turn, but someone else who has not gone yet can choose to say, I want to go now.
All
I'm
right.
going to spend a glory.
Yeah, no. He'll sort of snap. So he's used a mechadendrite, and he set his hand on Laurel. So he'll use his currently unutilized third appendage and sort of snap his fingers at Saris and point at the sparking power coupling.
Is that enough for me to recognize what's going on with it?
I mean, theoretically, yeah. It's something sparky and
With the
explosive
idea
looking.
of, hey, let's seize the initiative and see if Saris wants to get up here and try something. Or Remy, I don't care. You can see it too, Remy.
Do you mind if I seize the initiative, Jeremy?
No.
Okay, well, I didn't catch it. Oh yeah, I'll spend glory to seize the initiative then.
All right, glory goes down to 5. What are you doing?
Goes down to 5. I had it at 5. Did we get another one?
Yes.
I got one on my last turn. Yeah,
which took us up from 4 to 5.
No, it took us from 5 to 6.
We were at 4.
I've been tracking it on my end.
Okay.
We're at 5 right now.
I was up by 1. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move up to here. And is it like something I could just grab and throw, or would I need to use my staff to like sort of knock it loose?
You could probably just rip it out and throw it, depending on how strong you are.
I am too strong. That is
Theoretically,
the
you could do
number
it.
2, not.
Yeah.
How strong are you? Too strong.
Out of too strong out of 10. Wait.
Okay,
Oh.
but is it the number 2 and also 2 as in too legit to quit?
Right.
No.
That's the
I
question.
am the opposite of legit, in fact. I am.
Yeah.
I am so
If you
not
want to
legit,
throw,
I
if you
shouldn't
want to
quit.
throw the grenade at, if you want to throw the sparking grenade at someone, that would be an athletics test, which you can spend glory for bonus dice on.
The problem is I have 3 dice to an athletics check.
Do it!
You can spend some glory. You got 5 to throw in the pool.
Don't even spend the glory, just do it!
I will.
Look, we're not going to learn this system until we see what goes wrong and right.
I'll spend 3 glory to add to that.
Yeah.
Glory pool drops to 2.
Wait, it was at 6. It jumped. Oh wait, no, we spent.
It
1.
was
Sorry.
it was at
That's
6, dropped to 5 for
Five.
seizing,
Five.
Sorry.
dropped
And
to
then
2 for
This
spending
is
3.
where This is where I'm losing track. Is when people spend glory. Alright. So 3 glory spent. Add to that bonus dice. 1, 2, 3.
Roll me an athletics test. Who are you aiming to throw this at?
I got 1. I was aiming to throw it at the scum, which is going to be closer, or between, if it's possible, if I could tell how big of an explosion it would be, like between the two of them, but
it would probably be big enough to hit both of them if you threw it at the space between them. So you can throw it a number of spaces equal to, I believe, your strength times, is it 2 or 3? Let me just double check.
Pull a Russo swerve and throw it down to the southern end of the hallway.
Oh no, it's your
take
strength
out a
times
cultist
4.
and some scum at the same time.
I'm gonna re-roll my I'm gonna spend the wrath to re-roll my shit.
Okay,
that's much better.
That's much better.
Hot damn!
All
there
right.
you go.
We just lost Julia's camera.
Oh no! I mean,
Oh damn!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My computer just decided to screw up everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're getting your mic from a different source too here as well.
Everything.
Yeah, you throw this grenade.
Hell
over here.
yeah.
Can I shift 2 of those exalted to do better?
Better than 6.
For more damage, I
more
believe.
damage,
He
yeah.
means.
Yeah, for more damage, or if that's possible.
Yeah, you can shift both of those for more damage.
I will do that then. What am I rolling?
right. So the extra damage on a grenade explosion is normally 4 dice, so you're going to roll me 6 dice to see how much extra damage is added.
I'm just gonna roll number of dice 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What would the damage mod be?
It's baseline 10.
Hot damn.
I'll be very excited if the damage,
so
if the
that's-
blast radius takes out the 3 of you as well.
Exalted
Right.
icon, exalted icon, exalted icon, icon. So 4 exalted icons. Oh, sorry, 4 icons, 3 of which were exalted, plus 10.
I'm so
That's
confused.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage on top of the 10.
17 damage from this fucking
All right,
power
right. Fours
coupling.
are also icons, right?
I'm ready for it to just to backfire.
So Jeremy, 4, 5s, and 6s are successes.
No, I was
Roll-
confused because I didn't realize that you were just
Gotcha.
doing the
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the blast
So
radius
2,
is 3.
4, 6.
It was half the regular blast radius of a grenade, so its blast radius 3, which means you positioned it at exactly the right place to not kill your friends.
That's no fun.
To not
So-
absolutely
so
murder.
If you had
all 3.
thrown it at the
So-
scum,
we would have been dead.
both you and L'Oreal would have been caught in the blast.
I'm just
So-
saying, if
so-
you had thrown it south, you could have taken out the cultist and 2 scum.
It's true. It's true. So what happens there is, seeing the indication, Saris looks over at Blair and goes, "Miss Hart, if you wouldn't mind dealing with the last one over here," and just sort of very quickly dashes down the alleyway, the banner on her staff sort of billowing, showing off the crest of the Rogue Trader house that she is a part of. I get around, and the 2 around the corner basically just see that banner wave as she brings the staff up and just hammers it into the side of the power conduit to golf launch it over into the spot where it explodes.
Boom.
And there's this burst of superheated plasma and electricity as it detonates, and there are a pair of scorched enemies on the ground in the aftermath.
And then I plant the flag and stare down the alleyway at the other cultists.
So it would be the enemy's turn.
Because we seized the initiative.
But the only one who's left alive has already gone. So, Remy, what would you like to do on your turn?
Of note, I should ask, do I recognize any of these people?
Just really quick, roll me an awareness test.
Okay.
Oh no.
Phil, come on, man.
Expecting you to help him.
1.
With a complication.
I feel like that means yes.
It's your brother-in-law.
So, very specifically, the person who was holding the auto gun, who was directly south of you, and that is still alive is someone that you remember from your time in the darker parts of the Underhive. Someone who ran in you and your ex's circle.
Do they have a name?
Deuce Bigelow.
Valens was their name.
Valens. All right.
Close enough.
Alrighty. Well, I am going to. I just feel an arm go like right around, like, "Hey, Val," and I'm going to shoot.
So I know you specified that you're not great at shooting. Would you like to shoot?
I'm not awful. I'm just not.
Would you like to try an interaction attack?
I don't know what that means. So
the other option, aside from just physically attacking your opponents, is trying to mess with them using your non-combat skills. Interaction attacks can apply conditions rather than damage, and you can either talk to someone to try and confuse them.
Nope.
You can try and throw sand in their eye to get them off balance, etc., etc. You can use athletics to push, deception to manipulate them, intimidate them.
Am I going to throw sand 15 feet? No, I'm not.
You would need to be to do that kind of thing. You would need to be adjacent to your target,
right?
So like physical interactions. But an option there if you wanted to take it.
No. Remy is not walking up to this person.
All right, so you're just gonna take a shot.
I'm just gonna take a shot. It's fine.
You're gonna take a normal shot. You're gonna unload on him.
Remy needs that ammunition for later when because he's fairly sure this is not the. There were a lot of people fighting out there.
Oh yeah, there were.
I will, just because I think we're having a little bit too easy, I'm going to empty out our wrath pool. Or our glory pool. I'm just going to empty it out.
Hell yeah.
So
we're having too much fun
glory,
with that.
the remaining glory goes away.
Yep.
So add
Excellent.
2 bonus dice to this attack roll.
Yep.
ABD.
So that is that thing, whatever that means.
All right, so you've got it gives you the total in the top right.
Right.
So you've got
5.
You got 3 successes and 1 exalted. The cultist defense is 2.
Okay.
So you can shift that exalted for either getting a glory back or doing some more damage if you want.
No, let's do more damage.
Yeah.
We don't need glory. Glory's overrated.
All right, so in the far right, where you got the damage, the big
Yep.
red button for your damage, add 1 to your DBD value, and then hit the damage button.
All right. 1.
So that's nice. So you add 1 to the base damage, which is 7, so you do 8 damage.
Yep.
Cultist durability is again 4, so 4 more wounds. This cultist is dead.
Okay.
How do you want to do this? as you kill the person you know.
I feel like you just. There's probably an uncomfortable amount of I get in your personal space
For Blair.
for Blair. I just reach around hey Val, ooh, just right in the face.
Yeah. So Val, there's this moment of eyes widening recognition as Val sees who is about to shoot him, and then his face is gone because
Yep.
you used an auto pistol, and so there's just a small, a semi-automatic burst of large caliber shells just hits him in the face.
Not a full salvo, but
Blair-
enough.
Blair gets a reach around from Remy, and then a gun goes off.
So
I'm only annoyed because
You didn't think of it?
anyways. Yes.
So, the immediate fighting has died down. You can still hear it off to the right of this map.
I
But-
take a step back.
Oh, well, that was bracing.
Blair glares at Remy for a minute.
I'm sorry, do you want to kill them?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Aristarchus, could you please pick up Laurel?
Oh, they already have. Laurel's got 2 wounds right now.
She will stand up.
Still looking a little ragged then, huh?
I'm walking over to the bodies and I'm starting to pull shit off of them.
Oh yeah. So
Pulling money, pulling.
So from various knickknacks and just supplies that might be useful, I will say that you can pull an extra reload off of them. You can hand to anybody you want out of their ammo, and also you can pull a wealth, so you can add 1 to your wealth value.
Nice.
Could I pull a pistol from any of these bodies?
Most of their guns are horrifically dented from either A, explosions, or B, being riddled with bullets.
And I won't waste my time.
I will toss the reload back to Blair.
Laurel will go.
You just fully autoed, so here you might need this because this is not going to be our only fight.
Thank you.
Yep.
Laura will stand up and will nod at Aristarchus and walk straight to Saris and start inspecting. You're uninjured?
Of course. I have an excellent bodyguard.
Right, Miss Laurel, I think we might want to see exactly how bad the damage is, though.
Yes.
I suppose.
If you could sit still while Aristarchus tends to you, she'll look down the alleyway. Blair, darling, could you check and see what's going on around the corner?
All right. You just be right back. She will go check out around the corner.
So as you look around the corner, it's very obvious. You don't even need to roll for it.
There is, by the way, a moment of have fun, and then looks back and realizes they'll be stuck with the rest of this group, and then follows.
Saris is like, oh, when you look back, Saris is watching you too.
Yep. No, fuck this shit.
Yeah, so as the two of you round the corner and you get a look, you can see it's very obvious. Like I said, you don't need to roll. The Steel Watch, which is the like local planetary level law enforcement and guard attaché of the planet, is in a full engagement with these gangers, thugs, cultists. Hard to say exactly what they are. This is a disarrayed brawl. Like the fighting is happening all over the place, but nobody seems to be organized enough, at least on the cultist side, to really be an effective force of destruction against the, well, maybe not the best, like not military level precision, still trained soldiers of the Steel Watch. It is very much, this seems sloppy. Like badly sloppy.
While
At least they're having fun.
While they're off doing that, I'm going to inspect these other 3 bodies and see if there are any familiar markings on any of them.
A variety of them have several different gang tattoos and different symbol iconographies on them. The one that Laurel took a chunk out of their face in the first shot has on their back a unique tattoo.
Oh, yeah, and she's not being like gentle. Like clothes are getting ripped off to see if any have Chaos brands.
Yeah, the one that got their face caved in by a las blaster shot has a unique tattoo on their back of a very crudely drawn half circle made out of chains and spikes that seems to end in like a broken link. It's not a direct chaos symbol, but it is interesting for typical gang iconography.
She's gonna drag that body over to where Aristarchus is working on Laurel. Aristarchus, do you recognize this symbol?
The head kind of turns around with kind of a weird mechanical fluidity. would that be a scholar check or?
Yeah, you can roll me scholar.
Would I also be able to make a check while I'm looking at inspecting it?
Probably not. This is entirely like local planetary stuff.
Okay, that's what I thought. Also, Dakota says that Jeremy only has pocket sand at the ready in real life.
This is true. That's not pocket sand though. That's glitter, and it's totally different.
That's why I was just like, it's like that's cigarette ash. Just.
Yeah, no, I don't keep that in my pockets. Thank you very much.
That's a 4.
Yeah, with 4, I would say that's roughly enough. I wouldn't say you have room to shift, but with 4 successes, what you know is that this is not a symbol of any of the major gangs. This seems to be something small.
Wherever that is, they're probably the new in town, or definitely still trying to climb the ladder.
Yeah. And which is odd because they seem to have mobilized an attack force on the local Medicae Primaris. Maybe not like well, but easily. Apparently, they got 3 trucks up here full of guys.
Let's see if Blair recognizes it when she gets back.
Do I think Blair's coming back?
I don't know. Blair, are you coming back?
Yes.
She's getting paid by me, and I haven't given her money
Yeah,
yet.
Sarah hasn't paid her. Yeah, she's coming back.
So yeah, Blair, you return. Does Remy return with her?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, let me see. Go back with this smaller group, or go out into that fucking chaos. Or at least here, there is a relatively low level of recognition.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, Ms. Laurel, I don't think you're in any danger right now, so I'm going to go do a quick inventory over here, if you don't mind. And Aristarchus literally goes over into this pylon crater and just starts sorting through body parts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
that's unusual.
roll me a Medicae test.
Okay. 7 with a lot of double icons.
I will say you needed 4. How would you like to shift?
I can shift for more information, right?
Yep.
You
get to ask me a question.
Okay.
I think you can only shift 1 icon.
Yeah, you can only shift 1 here.
Okay. Then the question would be, do any of these things show signs of mutation or corruption? Specifically, like weird chaosy shit.
So it's subtle.
Okay.
But you are indeed seeing signs of unnatural influence on the human body. It's difficult to notice, but it's things like the base of their hairline is more skin than hair. Like their skin seems to spread up into the follicles of hair. So
it's like got a little like sheath at the bottoms of the.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nasty.
And things like their blood is just like a few semitones different than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not red. That's not traditional red oxidized human blood. That's
right.
Like a couple shades closer to violet.
Okay. It's gonna oxidize into tan, not brown, right?
So it's small, but it's there.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating. Data slate comes out and he starts doing some notations.
Have Blair and Remy returned by this point?
Yeah.
So, once you guys get further down, first Ceres looks over at Remy. Pardon me. Before we get any further, who are you?
Not relevant to the conversation yet. I'll tell you when it is. Hi. I'm Remy for now.
Thank you. Considering that the other people who were strangers in the alley were trying to shoot us, I feel it is relevant, but Remy will do.
I mean, they weren't shooting us because of me. They were shooting us because we were alive and we were targets.
Looks over at Blair. What'd you see?
There's more fighting over there, but it's pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
Do either of you recognize this? Says, sliding the body over so the symbol is visible.
As Aristarchus makes just an idle comment. Sounds like we're downgrading this battle to something more classified as a fracas or Donnybrook.
Skirmish.
What would I recognize it? Is there a role?
Yeah, go ahead and give me, both of you can give me, awareness or scholar.
Awareness it is.
We'll say difficulty 3.
Theoretically, couldn't cunning apply to a certain degree?
Cunning is more like networking than recognizing symbols.
Yeah.
I mean...
Remy, you're not quite familiar with it. Blair, you're not familiar with it, and also I get a ruin. Do you want what kind of complication would you like that to be?
Is there a list of complications?
It's more of just like a what do you think is narratively appropriate, or I can come up with something.
What's our ruin at right now, by the way?
9.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, I spent 1, but I've gained 3 now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I will leave it up to you.
So you don't immediately recognize it. But in particular, the thing about it that bugs you, is that when you don't recognize that symbol, you have this nagging feeling in the back of your head that someone with that symbol recognizes you. You don't know why. It's an instinctive fear, but it's the idea that you will know this symbol when it's dangerous. It's almost that sort of sixth sense of something like this is watching me somewhere. It puts you off. It's weird.
Well, I don't know it, which means that it's not one of the majors. It's not even one of the mids. It's probably a pretty small fucking group.
And yet they've
Why?
managed to wrangle 3 trucks to assault a Medicaid station.
I don't think this is one organized group.
Probably not.
This is a bunch of people from down below who, for whatever reason, got wrangled up in this. Granted, I don't know why the fuck they're wrangled up. I don't know what's going on. So
I want to know why you don't attack a hospital around here.
Well, you don't attack a hospital if you are looking for the people in the area to benefit from it. But if this
they don't give a shit,
as I suspect, elements of chaos at work, then attacking a hospital is their first objective.
Also, of note, both for John and everyone else, the phrase chaos with a capital C is like low tier blasphemy. Like it's literally like I'm trying to think of an equivalent thing.
Satan.
It's sort of like casually referencing that the person next door is a like unrepentant mass murdering psychopath.
Right.
Like It's the kind of thing that causes people to take intakes of breath when it's mentioned, which is why it's usually referred to with pseudonyms like the Arch Enemy or the Great Evil, or so on and so forth.
Then replace that then with Ages of the Arch Enemy.
In either case, Remy just looks more annoyed than anything else.
I think I can
Aggravated.
confirm that. And a bit of scalp is shoved under your nose. Saris.
I will analyze it as best I can.
Right.
Look, if
He'll point out how the scalp is creeping up the hair shaft rather than like it should be. Sorry, go ahead, Remy.
no, that's okay. I mean, you're not wrong there, but if these, so look, if they came up, you're right. This is not normal behavior. Which means they had to have a specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
How often y'all hang out in hospitals? There's an
All day,
interesting
every day.
group you got. Doctors aside,
I mean, it depends on who you're talking to.
because well, what I'm seeing here, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm seeing here is leader of one of the significant, if not most major gangs in down in the Underhive.
We're a pretty small gang, but thank you.
Significant, I said. Well, and this is the sorry, names still Artemis or Saris. You and everything that you fucking represent. No offense. And you absolutely have the look about you of to Laurel, higher echelon tough.
That would be one way to describe it.
I wouldn't expect to see one of you in the same place as another without a specific reason. The three of you, that's interesting.
I'm here on business. I say, as I'm going to use a free action to use Synescience really quick.
Right.
Just wanna get a sense of. I assume things that are categorized as a free action. I am assuming they're things that I can do casually without having to like exert a lot of.
Yeah,
effort in.
Synescience is literally can you sense psychic activity in the area? It's not something that takes a lot of effort.
So let us roll. Three successes is what I needed.
So yeah.
I sense the presence of the warp pressing in against the material world. Existing or imminent distortions of the barrier between the materium and immaterium in your immediate presence may betray themselves in the flicker of shadows, brief chill, or in 1,000 other ways.
Yeah, you're not. The warp is not actively present at the moment. As you look down at this piece of flesh that's been handed to you by Aristarchus, you can see the telltale signs of minor mutation, which is typically a sign that the warp has had influence on someone, but it is not actively present. You are not sensing sorceress activity in your vicinity.
Good, because we would be in trouble if I was. So it says, I'm simply here on business.
Of course you are. And I'm sure it's business that these people would take definite interest in.
Well, you seem knowledgeable, so it may very well also be business that could benefit you financially. I've already purchased the services of Blair here. Perhaps you might care to reintroduce yourself, and we could get to talking money. Sorry, allow me to introduce myself. Saris Artinos, envoy to the rogue trader Eckhart.
Right. I'm Remy.
And Aristarchus goes, flag.
The banner billows slightly.
I'm helpful.
I know everyone you're probably gonna need to know. If you need to get something, I can get it for you. Just don't question how I got it.
So long as you don't give me reason to, I won't.
I tell you what. I can give you a freebie, which is I do happen to be aware that at least one of these people is a chaos cultist.
That would fall in line with my suppositions. I'm here specifically to investigate signs of heretical activity infringing on the trade routes of my master. Hence, I say indicating towards Laurel, the assistance being received from the planetary government.
Investigate is a long-worded way to say eradicate, which is interesting because they're the same number of syllables, but it's still a long-winded way to say it.
Investigate is my primary motive. I do not come with an assault force. That would come later.
All right. I mean, if you're... Look, if you need to get stuff, if you want to know things, sure, no problem. I'll be happy to do it. If you're willing to pay what a trader is willing to pay, I'm added bonus.
I pull out a data pad, put what I feel like is a sufficient number of zeros at the end of a transaction, and hand it towards Remy.
Yeah.
So he can
Sold.
look at that. So he can look at the number.
That'll work.
Well then.
To be clear, this is more of a freelancer, free agent sort of thing.
Certainly.
I'm not full-time in your employ,
Of course not.
even for a certain period of time.
This is simply a contract. She says as she taps the data slate, and a series of terms and agreements begins to roll down. And the whole
Fucking hate you people.
the very standard you are a contractor, not an employee of, etc., etc., etc.,
Yep.
etc. I also had another one to Blair.
Oh, and to sweeten the pot, Mr. Remy, for what it's worth, new friends are expected at the Dactyl household for family dinners on Fridays, and Dad does make a mean shepherd's pie.
Great, awesome. I will be there the amount of times I am able to be there.
Blair.
That'll be a
similar-
great excuse for Mum.
Blair, similarly, yours has a lengthy list of terms and agreements.
She doesn't even look at it. Hands it back.
Oh, Remy looks over all of the details.
It is fairly watertight for the kind of contracts that people like rogue traders like to draw up.
It's 304 pages long.
It says I have
But
to
we're going to be sitting here for a bit.
This is the rest of game tonight.
I just
Good
Come
Goodbye,
on, let's get into character. Tell
that
me
will-
all of the details of the contract.
That will give Aristarchus probably a long enough time to do a regroup action and restore 7 wounds to Laurel.
Yeah, so if you literally want to sit down and read the entire contract, we
Oh,
can take a regroup.
He is absolutely, because there is every probability in his mind that there's something in there that fucks him over.
Mr. Remy, what are you doing? You're reading. Can we all get back in the tunnel and I can shut this door behind us?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a perfect narrative.
As I
excuse to do a
assume
regroup.
there's still extant atmospheric noise of coming from down around the corner.
So, in a regroup is a short period of downtime lasting approximately an hour. Regrouping generally occurs between encounters and affords you time to check ammo, tend injuries, assess the current situation, discuss tactics, and quickly grab something to eat and drink, or in this case, read a contract.
Read one contract.
If you have a Medicaid rating, which I believe probably only Aristarchus does, then you can heal a single character during a regroup. They can regain wounds equal to your Medicae intelligence dice pool.
Which is 7.
So you can heal one person for 7 wounds.
And considering only the one person took the wounds, I feel like that's a pretty easy choice.
Yep. They also took some shock if you'd like to roll to restore shock with your Medikit.
Ooh, I can do that. That's a thing.
So yeah, while Aristarchus is tending to Laurel and Remy is reading over a contract, Saris is going to be standing near the tunnel entrance listening, and is just absent-mindedly thumbing a small, smooth stone.
Hang on a second. There's a thing that I get a bonus die for on Medicae.
You get a bonus for all Medicae tests in general for your Medicae.
No, I think my Mechadendrite or my Medpack something. It's only under a specific thing.
Your Diagnoster gives you an extra bonus for identifying.
Right, that's for IDing stuff. That's what it is. All right. So this is just a flat 7 dice pool for stuff.
That is unfortunately short on restoring glory, unless you want to spend a wrath to re-roll that.
Nah.
Or on restoring stuff.
On restoring shock.
Restoring shock, yeah.
Yep. So you're still down that shock, unfortunately, for the time being.
While Remy reads the contract and we all take a regroup and Aristarchus heals Laurel, let's go ahead and take a break.
Break.
When we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur
A
story.
dinosaur story.
I mean, it sounded good to me.
It was
So.
slightly off, but yeah.
You all finish your regroup. Remy finishes reading the contract, confirming all the details and loopholes that have been put in and figuring out exactly what they are.
Yep.
Does Remy like sign the contract or?
Assuming there's nothing untoward in it.
It's fairly standard, especially for like
That doesn't mean there's nothing
like,
untoward in it.
That's fair. It is fairly unassuming, like you are working for me for the duration that I require your services and am paying you level of rogue trader watertight contract of you don't have access to my reputation, you don't have access to all of my funds,
right.
You are being paid for the services I want you for, etc., etc., etc.
I am not at your beck and call every 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Correct. You're not on my beck and call.
Mine is the independent contractor.
Neither is the rogue trader at your beck and call. So,
and not the WWE version of independent contractor. Actual independent contractor.
Yeah, rogue trader contracts tend to be better than any other contract in the 40k universe, just because they can bend the rules better than anyone else can.
Welcome to Artino's Exceptionals, then, I suppose, Mr. Remy. Or whatever we're going to call it. What do you call your squad there, Miss Artinos?
I haven't called them anything so far.
All right.
Good, because I'm not technically part of it. I'm just working on the side. And as far as anybody down there knows, I'm not doing that.
Understood.
I mean, I know.
Do you really want to tell everybody in the Underhive
she just smiles.
that you and I are working for?
I didn't say I was going to. I just said I know.
All right,
I'm from down there.
Laurel will just lean over. You're allowed to kill her. You can't touch her. Pointing to Saris. Just throwing that out there.
Excuse me?
Who'd you lean over to?
Yes.
To Remy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not killing her.
Real cute. You think he can?
I didn't say I could or I couldn't. I'm not saying either way on that, because that's just going to start an argument. But I'm not going to anyways, because what good? You have friends. I don't want those friends angry at me. Also, there's no reason to yet.
So, Remy.
All right, that should have you patched up, Ms. Laurel.
Thank you.
Where would be a good place to go to investigate the activities of these people you recognized amongst our erstwhile attackers?
I mean, I don't know specifically where they are. I need to point that out right now.
Of course.
But if I needed to start looking, there are places. I'm sure that Blair knows a couple.
What I know.
Yeah, but like you, at the very least, you, Blair, would know that this kind of gang activity is usually found near the bottom of the hive city, like the very bottom, the sump, where you'll find these kinds of like low end, no life, no hope gangers who are just willing to do whatever someone with the power to tell them to do it will do.
Now here's the question. Do you just want to go in there and surgical strike and take them all out and then walk out? Because that's not going to do much.
I wouldn't expect.
Or do you want to find out what they're up to, who they're connected with, and so on and so forth?
Yes,
because
information is what we're gathering, not bodies.
All right.
In order to clear up the traffic jam, as it were, we need to know who they're working for, why they are behaving the way they are, and if there is any clear power structure behind their activities. The gangs themselves are of no consequence, really. It's the people pulling their strings that we're after.
Right. So
I can get some of my girls to gather some information, if that helps.
I'm sure they'll be very good at that. Here's the thing with that now, Saris. If we do that, we're gonna have to do a lot of operating down in the Underhut. Oh. If y'all are coming with us,
as soon as we go one level lower, this banner is being put away.
Okay, good, very good. And
but if we're going down there in the bottom, I mean, there's always rumors that there's been lost tech from ancient battles and that sort of thing. So might be there's something worth poking our noses into and reclaiming for the Mechanicus.
Sure.
Just don't go running off trying to find it and get yourself killed.
That.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not exactly the quickest on my boots. And
I noticed.
If I need some help, I'll be sure to ask before I go running off on my own recognizance. Besides, I'm working for the rogue trader here. So where she points, that's where we go first.
All right. The other thing I got to point out, we go down there and we're looking around and we find someone who's a chaos cultist. We can't just start killing them right off the bat.
Why is that?
Because they're the people that we need to get information from, for one thing. And if we just start murdering them, then...
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, you don't know how many there are down there. They're probably not going to be alone.
Exactly. That's problem number one. Problem two, if we start killing them, we don't get information out of them. And if we start killing them, we very quickly identify who we are. And that puts us on the radar for a lot of people. And then back to Blair's problem. If we get through, all of a sudden we're dealing with an enormous amount of people.
There's a third problem that you probably would want to point out, which is Laurel. Laurel is a Xeno, an alien. The people of the Imperium are conditioned basically from their birth to hate anything that isn't human for any particular reason. While the influence of House Tandris gives Laurel a lot of freedom in areas where the high houses are recognized, when you get further down in the gang levels, that gets less and less reasonable to expect. So there may be some inherent hostility just from seeing an alien. Even the orcs get into fights everywhere they go, and they're big enough to scare most people off.
Fair.
The monkey humans of the lower level might not appreciate my presence.
No, they won't, but that can be a benefit and a disadvantage at the same time.
Of note, if you want the official pronunciation on that one, by the way, it's Monkai.
Monkai, okay.
Monkai.
It's intentionally written to sound like the Eldar are calling humans monkeys, because to them they are.
Sometimes you're going to be the intimidation. Sometimes you're going to be the patsy for us. Sometimes you're going to be the bait. Have fun.
Taking the third option.
Yes.
I don't suppose you've got like a particularly good hooded cloak or something like that.
Just go full Spock, put the headband on.
Use the Rogue Trader banner as a hood. No, No, won't be conspicuous at all.
Yeah, that'll make it much better.
The ears aren't quite as much of the problem as I say, gesturing to the battle armor. The rest of it, good mechanics.
You're not wrong. You do kind of stand out with a big "shoot me repeatedly in the head" sign.
Yeah, we're gonna draw a lot of attention.
I mean, there's no way we're not.
It's literally at that point when you say there's no way we're not going to draw a lot of attention that you hear a wahoo as an orc rides a flaming truck down the street.
Here's the thing.
Is that friend of yours, Remy?
No, that is somebody who I literally just met today. She has business she wants to discuss with you.
Something to look forward to.
Yes. Here's the thing. There is no way that we're not going to stick out. You guys can dirty up all you want. You guys can hide the armor. You can do all of that kind of thing. And I'm not trying to say this in a rude way, but you guys will stand out there because
I have
the sticks up your asses are just too long.
I have ashen gray skin and white hair. I feel like I stand out pretty much anywhere that's not Holy Terra, so.
You do, but you stand out in that very particular way that people are not going to want to talk to you. And people are probably going to want to kill you on sight if they think they can get away with it.
Yes. But yes, no, you're absolutely right, which is why I'm hiring assistants, skilled assistants, as knowledgeable of the area and knows people to speak with. For
assistants, that's what I bloody forgot.
My point being, when we go down there, there'll be times that probably Laura and I don't know, maybe if you work something out with the orc, that's between y'all. We might be able to go and conduct business as locals down there and get in business like that. The group of us are not going to be trying to infiltrate.
Correct.
Because y'all aren't going to be able to infiltrate.
Yes, but the primary objective is information gathering.
Yes.
If an enemy has information, try to get it before we kill them. If they don't, we're not going to make a dent, but we're also not going to. As I understand it, people dying is sort of day to day.
You're not wrong. I think let's try to keep the amount of fights in the middle of the street to a minimum. Because that will attract attention.
I think the fighting is not going to die down any more than it has already, so if you know of a quick way out of the area, we should probably take it. I'm sure that your green-skinned friend will join us at their leisure.
Yeah, she'll figure out that we're gone, and I'm sure she'll probably go back to where found me. So
I will go ahead.
Let's go.
William, at what point down the hive is the banner going to be more of a hindrance than a help? Or are we already there?
You're getting pretty close to there right now anyway, so I mean, might as well.
Now go ahead and pack up the banner then, so it's just the staff.
Like the banner is most useful in the upper hive where people actually recognize it.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get out of the tunnel, I'll go ahead and pack up the banner, put it away. In her myriad pockets of armor and cloak. All right. And yes, you're quite right. I don't know if there's anything we could do to disguise Aristarchus or Laurel. So We must simply walk with an air of those who should not be fucked with as much as possible.
Oh, well, people are always happy as Aristarchus comes back inside from the alley where he had walked off to for a brief period.
Yep.
People are always very happy to see the Adeptus Mechanicus coming around, especially them of us what is working with the Magus Biologus. So I'm sure I won't be off-putting to anybody down there.
If there is anywhere.
As he's walking in with an armful of 3 recently flensed skulls, and a 4th one being held by the mechadendrite.
Won't be off-putting to anyone holding 4 severed skulls.
Yeah,
I just share a look with Blair.
you're gonna need to be careful, Aristarchus.
Oh, that's right. No, the technology down Lower Hive is notoriously unreliable and difficult to understand. So we're going to have to.
As are the
sure
people.
Oh, I don't talk to people.
Speaking of,
This is gonna go fucking great.
looking down looking over at Remy. Speaking of, on our way down, is there a place perchance where I might procure a sidearm? I was not. We were short.
Aristarchus just hands you his las pistol.
Takes it. Never mind.
Solves that problem. Perfect.
Good work, Remy.
But if you want an actual something a little bit more, yes, we can.
Something with
we
a
can
bit more
find
heft
someone.
might be appropriate, but I'll take this for now.
Cool. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Is
I've
this-
been above ground too long already.
Is this just a standard las pistol?
Very standard las pistol. Yep.
All right. Now that you are actually and party, I can put the party marker token on the.
And yes, the hired help of the rogue trader Eckhart's envoy is a bit of a mouthful. We might want to come up with a sort of shorter group name.
But
Six
before
idiots.
we quit this area, did Tiberius survive the battle?
I will say yes.
Okay, yeah. Aristarchus will
he
have
was
a quick
pinned to a wall
conversation with
somewhere.
Tiberius. Now, look, we're going out on some other missions right now, so you are going to have to take a message back to the squad. Let them know that I will be absent for the foreseeable future, but the Magus is aware, and I am not derelict of duty or abandoning my post. So make sure that all of you listen to Yorick and behave yourselves. Understood?
A couple of beeps and chirps in response.
All right. Now, once everything's quiet, you get back into the Medicae.
It beeps and finds a corner to hide in for a bit.
Good lad.
Does Blair have any way of getting in touch with the girls in her gang?
There's like, I don't think you currently have like a direct Vox speed on you, so
Okay.
like radio communication's a little difficult. But if you scrounge that up, maybe you could use that. But at the very least, you know locations where your gang hangs out, and you know where your hideout is. So at the very least, the hideout, if nothing else, would be a place that you could gather, that you can meet them.
Okay.
If you can get, and I'm if you can notice, I may be wrong on this, but if you notice that Remy's got a hand box, as long as we know the frequency, I think I should be able to.
It's
Right?
it's not that you couldn't reach them. It's that they don't have boxes either.
Mhm.
Oh, they don't. Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna need to get in touch with my girls at some point.
No, we're heading down, so that should be easy enough. All right, let's go.
Holster the last pistol and
Before I
lead the
start
way.
feeling respectable.
I'm sure you have nothing to fear in that regard.
After a certain while above ground, you just start to get that smell, and it's just not. No.
We'll get you a nice suit jacket and a far better shirt to wear for family dinner.
I will fight you.
Aristarchus looks completely like nonplussed.
I wear my
I think
own
you'd win.
shirts. Maybe. I am perfectly happy with my choice of shirts. Thank you very much.
Oh, my apologies.
And it looks
You're like, oh, that was on purpose.
I see.
eh,
I'm sorry
and
for
it
your
looks
loss.
wonderful on you.
Thank you.
Makes it easier to spot you in a crowd.
Finally, somebody understands. So yeah, let's head out.
I want to say they made a really bad abbreviation for the word short on the weapons tables in this book.
Oh
because
no.
The letters that they pick just make me think it's shit every single
Right.
time.
HT.
SHT. I would have just gone S. ML.
SML.
ML.
I think the problem there is that you start confusing it for strength because they use S for strength.
That's why strength is STR.
If we go with S, I just am happy for our Saturday Might live show. Just throwing that out
Saturday
there.
maybe live.
So, you're heading into the Underhive. Is there anywhere in particular you're looking for? A bar, the hideout for the Hostile Hearts, anything in particular you want to head to first?
Along the way, I'm gonna take since Ceres does want something a little bit more with a little more stopping power.
Mhm.
I am gonna find somebody who we can pick up a decent, probably highly illegal weapon from.
Oh, right. This is going to be our first acquisition roll of the game.
Yeah.
Ayo.
I asked Remy because Remy now has probably the highest wealth score.
You're not wrong, but that said, I'm also not paying for it.
Well, no, wealth determines ability to find, I think.
Yes, no, absolutely.
So,
Because it's already, after that extra one, a 3.
Ooh, damn.
So, you can, I'm assuming you're going to want to make a cunning test rather than an influence test to try and find this. Unless your influence is better.
Let me see. I think they're both decent. Let me see.
Also, remember, you get
3...
plus rank bonus dice.
Oh no, yeah, cunning is way fucking better.
Yeah, you get plus rank bonus dice to all of your cunning tests too, which is +1 at this point. So yeah, no, my cunning is way fucking better. So take a look and see what kind of gear you want to find, and that will determine the DN of what you need to roll to try and find it.
We're not going to find an Inferno pistol.
Oh, almost certainly not.
Give me a page number.
Ranged weapons begin on page 217.
So
you're probably going to be looking in either las weapons or projectile weapons.
Yep.
Bolt pistols too much to ask for?
That would be something you would definitely have to go through legit channels to grab.
Yeah, so either a hot shot, honestly, either a hot shot las or a hand cannon would be an upgrade from a las pistol.
Okay.
So, see, hot shot las pistol is 6 rare, or hand cannon is 4 common. The hand cannon is going to be a lot easier to find.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, I hear the possibilities, and completely in my head discard the one, like go for the easy one. Try We get small successes now to build trust,
Oh,
and then we go for the big swings.
or again, I don't know how easy this would be. A hand flamer, and this is not in character. Saris has no idea what to expect. Saris is trusting your professional judgment.
Fair enough.
Her only request is something that's hits a little bit harder than a las pistol.
Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for the hand cannon. That should be
Okay.
pretty simple.
So your difficulty, it's common, so there's no modifier on this. So your difficulty is just going to be 4.
Okay.
And you can spend, again, you have a bonus die on this test because it's cunning, and you can
Right.
spend any amount of wealth for automatic icons if you need them.
No, I'm not putting myself out quite yet. There's 5.
Yep, that's more than you need. So yeah, you can absolutely know a guy who can get you a hand cannon and some shells for it.
Yeah, I walk down to a place like, all right, wait here. But also give me some credits because I'm gonna need to I'm gonna need to buy it. And then just go in and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Need to pick up I need a hand cannon. I've got money.
Oh right, let's see. You want one of the shopkeeper just go down a list of like different models and just like you take
I'd
the
pick
average
whichever
one.
one looks most impressive.
Yeah. That'll be the Death World Aquila. Here you go.
Perfect. Always a pleasure. Walk out a few minutes later. Congratulations, you're now the owner of exactly what Johnny just said.
Death World Aquila, also known as Deagle Flavored Deagle.
Holding that in one hand will sort of fairly adeptly retrieve the las pistol and indicate towards the Starkus. Do you want this, or should I keep a hold of it?
Oh well, it is a bit of a family heirloom, so yeah, I'll take it back.
Do you have another weapon?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Take it.
I wasn't sure if this
Stick it back in his holster.
Offered las pistol because wasn't good with it and had other things, or
I have read in some of the approved military literature that for those of us what are a bit less inclined or talented or trained in the use of firearms, that a thing called a shotgun is a good option. So if anybody sees one of those lying about, I would put myself down as a potential candidate for one.
Remy turns around and walks back into the shop.
I am not getting the person who sounds like he is untrained on firearms a shotgun. I don't say that, but I'm not doing it.
Why is this so hard?
Blair will ask Aristarchus, have you used one of these before?
What, a shotgun or this one?
Anything that shoots people.
Yes.
Oh yes, no, we do a bit of modification, and the rituals, of course, do occasionally require use of the items for sanctification and that sort of thing. So I have fired this one myself specifically twice.
And have you ever killed someone with it or injured them?
Well, it's usually considered bad form.
Besides,
we try to kill as few people during our ritual proceedings as possible most of the time.
Although, have you killed or injured somebody intentionally?
Like someone trying to attack you?
Oh, no. As you're all very well aware, attacking medical personnel is generally frowned upon.
I don't think they will serve you much down here.
They are not going to give a shit.
Well, there is always room for records of experiences, and while they may be new to me, I am certain the Omnissiah has a plan for whatever shenanigans we lot get ourselves into.
I love, by the way, that Aristarchus wants the Evacris to be a Nokian Sanctifier shotgun, aka a holy relic that is given to specific people.
Blair will just lean over to Remy. They are gonna eat him alive.
We need to keep him alive. He's the one that's gonna keep
I
us
know.
alive.
I know.
The rest of these fuckers can die, but he needs to live.
Oh no, he keeps my entire gang alive. He needs to live. I don't care about the other ones.
You only got half the payment promised.
Saying this under her breath.
By the way.
Right.
It'll be fine. The rest will be deposited after I leave planet.
We just can't let him go off by himself. Ever.
I know.
Well, now that is a very interesting looking storefront.
Blair immediately.
Just two hands.
No, you don't even have to do that because the hooked beak of the eagle on the head of the eagle on the head of my staff just rests on the shoulder and pulls back.
Just 3 people in separate methods all stop Aristarchus.
I have to say, the cohesion there was slightly impressive. The coordination was, without the planning, that was perfect.
All right. Well, we should at least, you know what? Let's do this as sort of a primer, like sort of getting your guys' toes wet a little bit. You who are not regulars down here. Let's head back to the bar where I ran into Tina. She will be coming back there almost certainly. I want to see how you guys do with like interacting with people down here.
Want to go for something safer? We could take them to where my girls and I stay.
There's less likely to be murder there.
Yeah.
Well, murder of them there.
They won't. It's fine.
All right. No, that's actually a good choice. That's good.
So you descend towards the Hostile Hearts hideout. To sort of set the scene that you're in and the scene that you're going to, you've been up till this point mostly in the mid-hive, which is sort of like any of you who have seen Star Wars, the upper levels of Coruscant, where it's just full of buildings, but you can technically still see the sky. It's just you have to look past several skyscrapers to try and see it. All of that with layers of streets and roads and buildings and the entire city around you. You are now descending into the Thunderdome, where the big Gothic looking architecture is replaced with piles of scrap metal and old steel girders that have been reinforced hundreds of times over thousands of years. All of this ancient metal. You can still sort of see the original Gothic structure from when the city was first built, but it's been rebuilt over and replaced and covered with so much stuff over the centuries this city has existed that it looks more like a standing pile of scrap than an actual building.
I look up very quickly and casually put my hat on before some unidentifiable liquid falls on somebody.
And so, after a few sublayers, there is no longer any sunlight to see. The only light down here is artificial.
Aristarchus, I would recommend fewer nitrates in your diet.
Shut up.
But sometime later, with those of you who are native to the Underhive very cleanly clocking the amount of stairs that all of you are getting from the dozens of people that you pass by on the way down. Even if the people who are getting those stairs do not quite clock them.
I feel like I clock some of them.
Some of them, yes, but probably not all of them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Laurel doesn't clock any, but Laurel doesn't give a shit.
That's fair.
You eventually find a literal hole in the wall. There is a it's like the sort of oval shaped hatch doors on the side of a sea ship that you sort of turn and rotate until it creaks open, and inside is a very cramped but very homey environment that is the hideout of the Hostile Hearts. It's again completely enclosed. There is no sunlight. There is no anything but artificial lighting here. And it's what looks like it might have been at one point like a way station of some kind that was long abandoned in the constant buildup. But it looks like it might have been a place where like goods were tracked and measured. There's like some like old broken down scales that have had like blankets and pillows laid over them to form easy beds. There are like big steel rafter roofs with like cork wall hanging in one place where members of the gang have like made a gun rack to put weapons when they're not using them. There's like a target dummy on one wall with some asshole's face plastered over it with a knife currently stuck into the face. It is homey to a ganger, but definitely the slums to anyone who's used to higher quality lodgings.
What's the architecture material? Is it mostly stone, metal?
It looks like it is like the floor base is a layer of stone, but most of the walls and supports are made of steel.
Okay. Aristarchus will rest his hand and his mechadendrite on opposite sides of the door frame and just stop there for a moment. Aketua, Adeptus pro omnisium. May your structure remain strong, all who enter here. And then he'll go inside.
Oh, we forgot to roll for objectives at the start. Oh, well. We'll remember that next time.
Legit.
Adding bits and pieces of the onion layer that is this game.
Yeah. But as you enter, there's about 7 or 8 girls who are currently in the hideout right now out of the dozen or so that are in your gang. Most of them, the younger ones, are mostly just tending to everyone else's gear while the older ones are talking about what they've been up to for the day. It looks like one of the older ones has brought back with some of the thrones that you procured for them, has brought back food for everyone. It's nothing special. It's primarily a mix of old mushroom bread and corpse starch. So it's enough to sustain people. It's not fancy food by any means. But the people here are eating because primarily of you and the older girls in the gang. So
she'll speak up as she gets in. Hi, girls.
One of the younger ones looks up and hi, Blair. Welcome back.
She'll motion to the group. They're with me. Make nice.
Girls nod. A couple of them look interested, but most of them are just... The youngest of the girls here is about 17. So there's still several of them are still in that age of like, if I feign aloofness, it makes me cooler. So they're trying very hard not to be interested in any of the people that are coming in.
A few of them may recognize Aristarchus because
I was going to say Aristarchus is trying
them up.
Aristarchus is trying to pick out how many of these people he has treated in the past.
Yeah, like a couple of the older ones just offer like a light wave to Aristarchus as they're like cleaning guns or knives and so on.
Are any of them cleaning shotguns?
One of them, yeah.
Probably just I've probably just randomly seen some.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Aristarchus is going to sidle over there and start taking notes from a respectful distance.
Yeah, the one who's working the shotgun, Sheila, I'm going to say is her name, is very carefully adjusting the sight. She's like, this thing is a spread fire weapon, but it can also fire solid slugs, so she's just very carefully adjusting it so that it lines up with her own angle.
Legit.
And of course, washing it down with sacred machine oils, the kind of maintenance that you can expect someone who is not a mechanicus to do for their own weapon.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I'm forgetting my character's name. Blair will find one of the older girls. I swear I keep wanting to call her Vespia. That's tomorrow night. I got too many characters. Blair will find one of the older girls there, who's probably higher up in the gang, and take her aside and talk to her for a minute.
Hey, boss, what's up?
I need you and some of the other girls to do a favor for me. And it pays well.
All right, good cash coming in. What can we do?
Motion towards Saris. There's been some unusual gang activity going on.
I mean, yeah, I figured as much.
So we had some of them attack Yaz.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Yaz got shot, but I mean,
there's
how's she doing, by the way?
We left her there. I remember.
She was in recovery. You don't move a patient.
Look, sometimes you have to.
I mean, yeah, in emergencies, but they hadn't even broken the outside perimeter yet.
She's fine. She's recovering.
All right.
We had a group of them attack the hospital.
That's kind of bold for one of the gangs down here.
And honestly, it was pretty sloppy too.
You think they were with the Chosen, or?
I'm not sure right now.
I mean, Varric Zarn's the only idiot who I could think would try something like that. Like, Avon's too smart, and no one has a fucking clue what Nox is up to, but...
I feel like this might be a new gang, or... I don't know. This is different.
Well, me and the girls will keep an eye out while we're on patrol, and while we're looking out, while we're walking around, getting eyes out. See if we find anything.
Thank you. I'm going to be wandering around with this lot for a while.
All right.
Just try to find me if you can.
I can do that. What was the name of your second in command?
Talia.
Talia came back, by the way, and has been out again. Apparently, an orc was walking around one of the bars asking about you and Remy.
Yeah, she'll meet us later. It's fine. She met Remy. It's fine. I'll talk to her later.
All right. Well, Sheila just finished setting up sleeping quarters. Well, quarters, I say. It's an open area. Like, the sleeping area is entirely wide open. But Sheila just finished cleaning up everybody's bedding for the night. So if people want to grab a spot to lay down, they're welcome to. Otherwise, we're all good to take visitors, I guess. Do they need something to eat? We should have enough extra.
You'll need something to eat? She'll shut out.
That will be delightful.
I'm good, thank you.
I won't say no to a meal.
All right. So as the group of you sit down to what is probably the most disappointing meal you've ever had, because again, it is like mushroom bread and corpse starch.
I'm not eating.
Aristarchus is just raptly watching Laurel eat. as if it's going to be as if he's going to make a massive medical discovery by watching a Xeno consume food.
And for Laurel, this food might not be good, but the nutrition will probably do you for the next week.
She's eaten much worse on.
I mean, considering the everything about the Eldar's physiology is heightened to a razor's edge. You could eat a rock and get nutrition from it.
I was going to say she's probably scavenged much worse food off of ships she's taken hostage of during her coterie days.
As you all settle down for the night, that is 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's about time. That is where we'll go ahead and end for the week. Are we at the end time? Yes, we're at the end time.
All right, everybody. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.